In the final analysis, when someone asks, why are you a priest or why are you an oblate, it was the most radical way to say thanks to God. I was raised in a strong Catholic family, and I didn't go to any Catholic schools. There really weren't Catholic schools in the town I grew up in, Adrian, Michigan. The Oblates had been weekend help at my parish in Adrian long before I was born, into the early, 1940s. They were weekend help. But when I was about 7, they actually took over the leadership of the parish. So I was raised with Oblates growing up, and I went to college and just kind of stopped going to church. Nothing personal, no deep doctrinal issues. I just missed the first weekend, missed the second pretty soon, couldn't remember the last time I'd been. But as I returned to church, something that people would say to me even in high school, which was, I think you might have a vocation, those comments returned, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I've heard this before. And it was a diocesan priest from Nova Scotia who happened to be at my university that was just like, he would say that to me, and I'd say, yeah, I'll go if God calls. And one day he just said, well, what are you doing to listen? When someone would say, discern a vocation, I wasn't sure what that meant. So it was great to have a mentor to kind of lead me through looking at those questions. And what it came down to was looking at my skills, my gifts and talents that God had blessed me with, and seeing if I couldn't use those, fully for God. I think the commonality between what I did before I was an oblate and what I do as an oblate is advocacy. I think it's really critical for a lot of reasons, particularly in a time frame where standardized testing is so big and some of these sort of cookie cutter approaches to education, and juxtapose that with a Salesian education that's rooted in be who you are and be that well. There's certainly elements of education that are the same no matter who you are, but there are also elements that have to be drawn out of the individual, and that shows up in every discipline. Ultimately, we are unique, and so that we want people to celebrate that. I think sometimes we tolerate each other, and my goal is to say we would celebrate each other, not just tolerate each other, but to say that what's different about you is something to be celebrated. Sometimes the oddities or the differences, the quirkinesses, and that's true in the classroom, that's true in the hallway, that's true in the lunchroom, that's true in the chapel. I think Salesian spirituality in my ministry as a president, or any ministry I've done, is that St. Francis de Sales was very balanced as we speak of gentleness and humility, and the connection between gentleness and strength. That great quote of, nothing is so strong as gentleness, and nothing so gentle as real strength. For a lot of people, those have nothing to do with each other, and yet that paradox of their relationship, I think, is one of the things that shapes my ministry, that I want people to be balanced in who they are, because that's inherent to being an oblate, that's inherent to Salesian spirituality. My name is Father Geoff Rose. I'm an oblate of St. Francis de Sales, and this is how I live Jesus.